The first phase of the future, you see they all spell the word future, is fast, and it's to do, of course, with the speed of change. And I know that this is a fundamental value for you. It's one of the 5 key values, is this whole business of speed. And, leaders who act fast are going to win the day. You know that. You know that in Western Europe, for example, right now, or in America, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan, in these countries, you will lose 30% of your market share in 30 seconds if your web page takes that long to load. That's yesterday, my friends. You tell me tomorrow. You might say, yes, that doesn't apply in Indonesia at the moment. It applies to some populations in Thailand. I agree. I'm just saying our world is changing incredibly quickly, and we are becoming very, very impatient for instant action in every way.
This video is almost a decade old, but growing in relevancy each day. As noted futurist Patrick Dixon comments on in his keynote speech, change is happening quickly, and we are becoming incredibly impatient for instant action. Dixon's thought serves as a catalyst for the holistic transformation model. As quickly as change is happening, we are as quickly becoming an interconnected world, particularly in business. The knowledge gap shortens every day as we are quite literally a finger's keystroke away from information. With everyone connected to essentially the same information, competition is becoming more fierce. As businesses thrive or die around their ability to innovate and adapt quickly. Lurking around every corner is a new startup or new idea ready to be spawned into the next big thing. It's my belief that we've created a perfect storm through these factors that is capable of swallowing up the change resistant. When examining the speed of change, we look at it through 3 lenses: the evolution, the effect, and what's ahead. The evolution has led us to technology that allows organizations to innovate, create, and change at speeds never imagined. The effect has led to innovation growing exponentially, while the lifeblood of organizations, its people, have been left in a state of change saturation, often on the outside looking in. So what can we expect? Change will continue at the speed of light, leaving the workforce in its wake unless organizations take holistic approaches to their change initiatives. By taking a holistic account to change initiatives, organizations can effectively eliminate the seesaw effect change has across the organization. Throughout this video, we'll look at a broad-based model to think of holistic organizations, as well as mapping steps organizations must consider when prescribing holistic change efforts. Holistic transformation model assumes change initiatives truly seek transformation. To differentiate change versus transformation, I like to think of transformation as something more sustainable, whereas change is oftentimes more short-term. In the center of the model lies sustainable transformation, with all aspects or systems of the organization revolving around this sphere. In truly holistic transformative efforts, change leaders must account and apply the roadmap across each layer of the organization. HTM's roadmap for change looks very similar to many change roadmaps. However, application may be a key differentiator. While it is often the aim of organizations to change their systems, processes, or technology, the success is most oftentimes driven by its people. Typically, we see change initiated or prescribed in a linear fashion. While that works in the space of process and or technology, it doesn't account for the people dynamics that so often make or break change efforts. For example, an organization is looking at implementing a new SharePoint site. The change is often viewed as involving IT, as they are the most directly affected. However, often overlooked is the end user. Usually as a bolt-on to our change initiative, we'll offer a training to end users. In reality, the change may have the largest impact on end user Bob, who has worked with the current site configuration for the past 20 years. When we view change in this linear fashion, we often lose focus on the effects of change on the whole system, causing a seesaw effect, which ultimately ends up leading to failed change initiatives. Step 1 in the roadmap involves a 4-step process to create vision for change and developing a commitment strategy. During this first phase of the change process, the change initiator must align a vision for change with the organization's mission, begin to mobilize a commitment strategy, prepare stakeholders for the corresponding action, and define and manage the scope. The aim of Stage 1 is to ensure a success plan for the initiative is fully developed. Knowing that organizations will face change resistors, the aim of Phase 2 is to begin forming a group of influential change leaders that are capable of moving the needle. Organizations must first identify champions for change, then assess the capacity, readiness, and resources for the initiative, and finally identify the barriers, risks, and challenges to success. To know where we are going, we must first identify where we currently are. This phase of change allows organizations to gain frontline perspective on the strengths and weaknesses through the eyes of a diverse cross-section of the organization. Now that we've taken stock of the current state, we can begin to design the desires of the change initiative. During this design phase, members will identify the gaps between the current and future states to begin building a successful rollout strategy. Asking anyone, even those that support the change, to alter business as usual is difficult. Before implementing or taking the first step, extensive planning sessions should be conducted to ensure as many I's are dotted and T's are crossed than one can plan for in the murky waters of change. In doing so, the team should begin to identify support systems and opportunities for collaboration. Oftentimes, organizations gauge the success of change initiatives by feel. A key component of the HTM roadmap involves measuring our implementation at every possible turn. As we begin to account for our successes, it becomes incredibly important to celebrate those wins. Documenting wins in public areas of the organization serves multiple purposes. 1. Even detractors like to be on winning teams. 2. It helps to support and reaffirm the what's in it for me. Teams will want to begin to collect the misses as they will be important for Phase 7. Teams will be course correcting throughout the initiative. However, one of the goals should always be to learn from our successes and failures to ensure future learning lessons. Essential to successful transformation efforts is a team's ability to mature as the roadmap is implemented. The team maturation cycle accounts for the maturation process a team must go through to experience successful change. As transformation matures, a team or teams have to run the course of maturation, with the ideal state being a truly collaborative team capable of handling the complexity of a continuously changing environment. The goal of every single organization is sustainability. Today's business environment isn't conducive to allowing the change-resistant a sustainable life. This phenomenon has created a need for methods of change capable of keeping pace with the complexity and velocity of today's ever-changing world. The holistic transformation model accounts for both the complexity and velocity of change by applying a roadmap that adapts to each step in the peaks and valleys of change.